Breaking news just into our newsroom about an hour ago. St. Paul fire officials say one person is dead after a garage caught fire early this morning. Crews tell us that they were called to Jenks Avenue just after 4 a.m. A caller told them they saw smoke and flames coming from a detached garage. They found one person inside the garage had died. The owner of the homes told firefighters the garage had recently been broken into several times. An autopsy on the victim is scheduled for today, and if it turns out they were killed by the fire, it will be the first fire-related death in the city this year. Well, today we have a closer look at some of the biggest changes we've seen in decades at the Minneapolis airport. Just hours ago, leaders at MSP announced hundreds of millions of dollars of upgrades to Terminal 1. The project will cost $242 million, bringing upgrades to 6 concourses and 75 gates. The goal is to make it easier to find and get to your gate. At the same time, the airport will also be seeing projects to improve efficiency at check-in and through security. The project is expected to be the largest the airport has accomplished since 1962. Well, if you're heading out today, be prepared for some windy conditions out there. Ben, I see you have your coat. It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it is a little bit on the cooler side if you're in the shade, and that combined with the wind. And I think that's going to be the first thing you notice when you walk outside. It still is rather blustery, just like what we saw yesterday evening. It's been windy all night and all day so far. And what you're looking at are sustained wind speeds. We've seen wind gusts that have exceeded 30 and at times 40 miles per hour across the state, and that's keeping our temperatures feeling a little bit cooler than what the actual thermometer says. Right now, the current temperature is 48 degrees, at least here in the metro. 30s up north, where we actually have some light snowflakes falling along the international border. We'll talk more about that coming up. Here's a live look outside. Lots of sunshine is expected today, so that's kind of the nice part about today. It's breezy. We'll call it feeling seasonably cool. And temperatures holding pretty steady throughout the afternoon. We'll talk about if we have any chance of seeing any flakes fly, plus more about a big warm-up headed our way next week. Just ahead, Alexis.
Now you're talking about language. Ben, thank you. Happening right now, Minneapolis police are meeting with leaders of Hyundai to show off new safety features. Minnesota is one of many states that have urged both Hyundai and Kia to recall their vehicles to improve anti-theft equipment. Recently, we've seen a rise in social media posts showing how to steal cars from both makers. Starting tomorrow and throughout the weekend, the companies are holding clinics in the Twin Cities to help you upgrade your vehicle's software. The clinic is in Minneapolis is tomorrow and Saturday, and on Sunday and Monday it will be held in St. Paul. Several makes and models are available for upgrades, and you can call your dealerships to see if your car qualifies. Well, take a look at this video captured near the off-ramp of 35W and 18th Street in Minneapolis. It shows what looks like a potential police chase ending with the vehicle crashing into the railing. You see it there. This happened last night just before 10. After the crash, you can see an officer get out of their patrol car. Then it's a bit blurry, I know, but if you look closely, you can see someone running away from the passenger side of the car that crashed. We don't know exactly what happened. We have reached out to State Patrol and are waiting to hear back. New at noon, a Minneapolis man accused of running an elaborate iPhone theft ring will avoid prison time. Just hours ago, Brandon Sue was sentenced in court to 120 hours in the Hennepin County Workhouse and 120 hours of community service. He's accused of reselling phones that were stolen in what were often violent assaults in downtown Minneapolis. As part of a plea deal, Sue pleaded guilty to 4 counts of receiving stolen property in the operation. Well, we can expect more new projects to come out of Hollywood following a tentative deal and the actors' strike overnight. NBC's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas brings us the reaction to unanimous vote between the SAG-AFTRA union and studios.
Hollywood actors can finally get back to work after an unprecedented 118 days on the picket lines. The Actors Union announcing late Wednesday that it approved a tentative agreement with the AMPTP, which represents studios and streamers, including NBC News' parent company Comcast. Actors at a movie premiere Wednesday night were thrilled.
The strike is over.
That's amazing.
You're joking.
Yeah. Don't tell me that now.
Let's go. Yeah.
Other actors taking to social media to share their excitement, including Octavia Spencer, who posted, "Who else is dancing right now?" And actor Kate Walsh, who wrote, "I am in teary awe of my fellow actors and sister unions who fought with all they had."
It is a very big deal, and we are very excited about it. The valuation of this deal comes in at a little bit more than $1 billion over the term of the agreement.
The AMPTP says that this deal represents a new paradigm, including the largest increase in minimum wages in 40 years, a new residual compensation structure for streaming programs, and extensive consent and compensation protections in the use of artificial intelligence. This announcement comes after months of meetings between the union and studios. Fran Drescher, the president of SAG-AFTRA, reflecting on the tense negotiations in an interview with NBC News last month.
It's being driven by people, and people that are driven by greed.
The fallout from the longest actors' strike in history has been far-reaching. The work stoppage not only hurting actors, but industries like transportation and craft services. The halt in productions has cost California's economy billions of dollars. After more than 13 weeks, the Hollywood ending so many have been hoping for.
The first caucuses in the primary election for the race for president are a little more than 2 months away. Last night, 5 Republican hopefuls took the stage looking to gain more voters. In the third GOP debate, foreign policy was a major focus. We saw stark differences on things like U.S.-China relations and the wars in Israel and Ukraine. Another thing on everyone's mind, key Democratic victories in Virginia and Kentucky and the approval of an abortion amendment in Ohio.
We need a 15-week federal limit.
This is an issue that should be decided in each state.
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers.
The fourth GOP debate is already scheduled for December 6th in Alabama. Former President Donald Trump was not on stage during last night's debate, but he will be on Minnesota's primary ballots. The state Supreme Court made that decision yesterday, but does the same apply to the general election?
I'm Morgan Wolf. Minnesota Supreme Court says that former President Donald Trump will be allowed to be on the primary ballots in 2024. A group filed a lawsuit claiming Trump's ineligible due to the 14th Amendment, saying those who engage in an insurrection should not be able to hold office. The court said that Trump has the right to participate in the primary because they are not held by the government, but by political parties. But if he does become the GOP candidate for the general election, then the court would accept another challenge at that time. The court will issue a longer opinion at a later date.
A new ruling in the Vatican is widening who is all allowed to baptize. The Vatican's doctrine department now suggests transgender people and children of same-sex couples can be baptized. The church also says it's okay for a transgender person to be a godparent or a witness in a Catholic wedding under the right circumstances. However, the ruling calls for repentance of sins before a baptism. A new resource for kids and teens is coming to Anoka County focused on mental health.